your foot in Ohio and another foot in Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania has been ignored. You know, we need money for research, not just to find out what happened with our bodies, but for the next community that this happens in. I keep hearing 20 years from now, we're never going to prove that this cancer was due to chemical exposure. But we can. We could prove that with the research. That's true right now. The CDC told us as a community, we've all been exposed. We all have chemicals in our body, but they don't know what to do about that. However, they can treat the cancers and causes. That is unacceptable. The time is now, and this is bigger than East Palestine. These accidents happen every single day. That's why we formed the Impact Communities Coalition. We have members from Love Canal, 40 years, you know, still talking about their disaster. Bhopal, India. It's been 40 years since Bhopal. They just had the contamination removed this last December. You talk about Conyers, Georgia, not getting much press, but a biolab exploded there. Their plume sat over them for over a week. And you know what they did for them? They put a curfew in place and told them to be home by a certain time at night. Look at what's going on right now in Moss Landing in Northern California, a lithium battery plant. They're all sick and being ignored. The time is now to pay attention to the people, because we the people are fed up. Look at the people in North Carolina still living in tents, but we have money to send to other countries. When does America come back to taking care of Americans? We're fed up, and we want our government to know. We stand here today asking for aid and favor. So please hear our cries. Don't let our voices be blocked by our local government yet again. It's not just about economic recovery. We need to focus on human health. We need answers, we need out, and we need help in East Palestine. Everything is not okay.
You know, pretty positive because we want to support everybody else, but when you start to see it happening to yourself, you go, this has to stop. There are many children here that we don't know. I mean, they're tough and their immune systems are tough, but then
many people don't realize that other communities have been erased off of the map for less contamination events than this. We have the right to be removed from a poisonous environment. We have a need for meaningful health care and realistic relocation. You can't buy or rent a home similar to what you get here in any other similar environment. We didn't ask for this to be done to us, and we have talked to many people from many other disasters. I personally talked to Marilyn Leisner from Times Beach quite a bit, and the health ramifications that her community is still facing. The people that she has lost that left that community between 7 and 13 years old, passing away in their 40s and 50s. She doesn't know how she's made it so long. She thinks it's to help us. We need out. We need relocation. I still have loved ones who are in multiple different types of relocation, all lesser than their homes here. Many are paying for 2 homes. Some are facing homelessness. There are some who are actually homeless. And our neighbors in Pennsylvania, 500 feet from the state line where that plume blew, got no attention in this at all. They got no help at all. We got no help from the government, not any. But they're not even getting acknowledged. And we need J.D. Vance to be the man of his word that we believe him to be, declare the Stafford Act, get the federal declaration of disaster out, and please come speak to your constituents. You were with us all along, and we need you to be with us now as our vice president.
My family has been relocated due to the derailment. My home's setting on top of Sulphur Run. The EPA had ordered Norfolk Southern 3 different times to close off my open pipe in that tunnel. They have yet to do that. On December 30th, right before New Year's Eve, we were served with a paper from Norfolk Southern ending our relocation. Our home is still contaminated.
daughter has asthma. I have type 1 juvenile diabetes. Our
People's teeth are
has
falling out.
showed more contamination after each testing. We need a place to live that is safe, and we need our government to stop this before we become homeless. We have a community, many communities in the surrounding area suffering silenced. They're suffering silenced. There's no coverage on this, and it needs to stop. We need help. Our government needs to step in and take care of their citizens.
Use the power that they have.
Yes.
A swipe of their pen could change our lives forever.
Worry about that. And what about the EPA, the health department, OSHA, the
Where's
cleanup
OSHA?
workers?
Yeah.
If
Where's
you
FEMA?
had a business that was surrounded by chemicals, OSHA would be there immediately to shut it down. They have people living in right down by the tracks where the soil is full of contaminants from the rail train that's spilled everything, and they still have not moved those people out. They're still living there. There was in her backyard, she had a rail car, and she has young children. My question is, yes, okay, great, let us get health care for everybody, but that is to treat the symptoms. Why would you not remove the people away from the thing that causes the symptoms?
Amen.
That is the first thing you should do, is get the people away from that, and then worry about their symptoms that they're going to have regardless, because they've been there for 2 years.
Absolutely.
OSHA.
You don't band-aid wounds in a fire. You remove people from the fire and then you assess their wounds. Healthcare before relocation doesn't make sense. And healthcare around here, we don't have the practitioners for what we need.
This is for the workers on that site. They're excavating a super fund as we speak, a federal super fund. Why is OSHA not there asking those workers why they don't have PPE on?
Right. Amen. They just-
Why?
And why are we allowed to
OSHA.
take the wall out of
I'm
it?
telling you right now, they're in the middle of a super fund and they don't have proper PPE on. You need to go ask why. You need to go ask those workers why they don't have PPE on.
Our environment is still contaminated. Just in November, they found 14 more pockets of vinyl fluoride. They found contamination in the wetlands. You know, they act like this is done. There's still contamination in our creeks. They've not addressed the creek banks. You know, we're not stupid. We don't need to be scientists to know when it rains and that creek swells, all those chemicals are going into those sidewalks, going into that soil, going into our homes.
Many of us have private wells, and we weren't even able to get a baseline test for our wells to see what we started with, so that we can continue to update of what's happening, because ultimately, God forbid, that's going to end up in the water, the aquifer, and that is terrifying, because you won't know when you're drinking it. I've been drinking bottled water for 2 years now.
Yep.
I filter my
Getting
bottled
hard to
water.
afford.
Don't even give it to our animals.
No, don't
I
even
won't
give it
even
to
give
my
the water to my
animals.
And I
animals.
understand
When we talk about vapor intrusion, our municipal building right here, the mayor tells me off on national television for asking how he can make those women work in there when it was the only place that smelled worse than my home. I heard rumors that they had a pipe that led from that building down into the tunnel where the creeks run under the building that was off-gassing into that building. When I asked our local village government about it, I was told to get a public records request. It's now come out in a published report, and I also have videos of the hole that they had to cover. When your residents are complaining about vapor intrusion in your home and your own local government does not stand up for you, does not say that there was vapor intrusion right there in that very building. When your local government knew that the air knifing machines that they had lining our town were blowing chemicals and the workers were getting sick, no one told us. There was 5 of those machines at the entrance to our park. Why are we not being relocated? Why do we not have health insurance? Why have we been abandoned?
Yeah.
8 times worse than it was the first year.
So are you saying that there's a cover-up here?
Yes.
Yes.
Historically, in every chemical disaster, there is a cover-up.
We're not saying there's a cover-up, we have proof. For anybody that wants to see it,
Absolutely a
if
cover-up.
nobody fights for you, you learn how to fight for yourself. As parents that care about their community members, we do our own investigation. I guarantee you, a group of people that investigated this, we investigated it better than the FBI would have. So we're